The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Put yourself in their parents' shoes and see how you feel. Not only that, though, we're talking about the most vulnerable population.
Tonight on DC News Now, school bus blunders, failing to protect the kids who need it most. We're live with the alarming accusations about how the district is putting students with disabilities at serious risk.
Plus, a pay bump for firefighters. We're live in Alexandria with how it became the first city in Virginia to recognize a union of firefighters and EMTs in more than 40 years.
Also, more trains on the tracks, how Metro's able to get some brand new cars up and running amid a call for accountability for operator training.
And hi, good evening, everyone. We have issued a DMV first warn day going into early Wednesday morning. We're watching an approaching storm system that's impacting at least 28 states. We'll look at how it's going to impact the DMV coming up.
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
Hi, I'm Tasneem Mahfouz, and our top story tonight, delayed and even canceled bus routes are leaving some of DC's most vulnerable students stranded.
That's according to parents we spoke with tonight. They say the whole ordeal has led to weeks of frustration. Our Marielle Carbone is live in Northeast DC tonight, the Division of Student Transportation. And Marielle, these buses, they are primarily picking up students with disabilities.
Yeah, Chris, that's right, they are. And one parent I spoke to told me that these delays can lead to a whole bunch of issues, like students not getting to school in time for the services they need, or even delays in taking important medicine. Now, you can see there are plenty of buses here to take students to school. The problem is there are not enough people to drive the buses.
My mostly biggest fear that she's going to be left on the bus or she's going to be left at school.
Since the start of the new year, school transportation has been tricky for some DC parents.
Overwhelmed.
Valencia Roy says her 9-year-old daughter, who has Down syndrome, takes the bus to school daily, which is operated by a DC agency called the Office of the State Superintendent of Education. But lately, delays and cancellations have plagued the system.
You stand at the window, and you on the phone, too, also trying to figure out when's your child bus coming.
She says twice in the morning, the bus never showed up, and other times it was delayed by more than an hour.
They come pick her up between 8:40, close to 9 o'clock. She gets to school at 10 o'clock. So that means she already missed half of her curriculum that day.
In the afternoon, there are long delays home.
She gets home like 5:30, almost 6 o'clock, and then half time she's wet.
The agency serves more than 3,700 students with disabilities on more than 530 bus routes daily. Tuesday afternoon, 2 routes were entirely canceled and 77 routes delayed. The agency blames staffing for the issues. In a statement, spokesperson Fred Lewis said, "We're facing these challenges because we have a shortage of drivers and attendants this school year. And we have also experienced higher than average staff callouts, which impacts timely service for students depending on the route. As a result, routes have been combined and in some cases dropped." The OSSC is also offering reimbursements for parents who choose to self-transport or use a rideshare to get their child to or from school. But
I'm still waiting for a reimbursement from last year.
Roy says parents need something more.
Communication. Put yourself in their parents' shoes and see how you feel. Not only that, though, we're talking about the most vulnerable population.
All right, so the agency is working to hire more bus drivers. There are 2 hiring fairs coming up, and there's a $5,000 incentive if you get hired at one of those fairs. The agency is also posting delay and cancellation information on both its website and social media feeds. Reporting live in Northeast DC tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Ariel, thank you. Students head to the bus stop tomorrow morning. Rain on the radar for Wednesday.
Yeah, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb. Janessa, you are tracking the timing.
Yeah, we have this wintry mix about to make its way across the district. Look at this robust storm system across the deep south. It's dual-sided towards the north. We have about 6 inches on the ground in Oklahoma City. Unbelievable. And you have a cold sector that's in the center of the country, warmer sector out towards areas of Cameron Parish, Louisiana to New Orleans as well. They're dealing with a severe weather outbreak. That entire system is about to head our way, and that's why winter weather advisories, they continue to spread up and down the Northeast, down to the Mid-Atlantic. Now, closer to home, we continue to watch this winter weather advisory just west of I-81. It will start in the morning and last until about 4 o'clock. Now in this advisory zone, Hagerstown to Frederick, Maryland, they have issued that. The reason being is that a few of these spots are going to continue to deal with some freezing rain and some snow accumulation. So the major threat for tomorrow afternoon, widespread rain. It will be torrential to moderate downpours at times. And then with the snow, there is an element well to our west in the higher terrain. We are forecasting at least trace to 4 inches at this point. There will be about 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation across some sections to the west. It's important to know the exact timing and how it impacts your life and your day. I'll break that down coming up.
All new tonight, communication during emergency events in schools is raising concerns in Montgomery County since the Magruder High School shooting.
And now with the rise in youth fentanyl overdoses, parents are asking for more transparency in the reporting of medical emergencies. Our Cheyenne Corin covers Montgomery County for us. She reports that some schools in Rockville say that's not always possible.
So today, a John F. Kennedy High School student had to go to the hospital. Now, MCPS is calling it a medical emergency, but police say that they responded to the call of a student who may be overdosing.
It's almost like people are afraid to talk about it. And like, if they talk about it, it's going to cause more problems, when it's actually the opposite.
This recent medical emergency at Kennedy High School comes just a day after 2 students were found drunk and unconscious in a bathroom at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School. It's also coming less than a week after MCPS held an urgent meeting about fentanyl and overdoses.
It's not a common theme for us to go to the schools, even though we have had some incidents at our schools.
In a letter sent to families today, the JFK principal described Tuesday's events as a medical emergency. But Montgomery County police say it was a suspected overdose and Narcan was administered.
Accessibility is in the school community, and people, young people are feeling emboldened enough to utilize these drugs during the school day that sometimes are causing these overdoses.
MCPS says they cannot share the specifics of medical emergencies, as it is a matter of student privacy. MCPS communications team went on to explain that even when a school nurse administers Narcan based on symptoms, they don't know what the student ingested until a toxicology report is completed. Even then, they won't update the school community that it was an overdose, but it will be a part of county data.
I understand student privacy. We don't have to release the student's name, which of course we would never release the student's name, but we should be understanding what's going on, because then what happens is the rumors start.
Ayanna Kahan says she can't wait for MCPS to be more transparent about these reports, so has to take matters into her own hands.
My boys are 12 and 14, and so they're still kind of young, but I need to start talking with them now.
And also this weekend, MCPS is hosting a family forum to talk about fentanyl and also Narcan training. Now, it's happening this Saturday, January 28th at Clarksburg High School. I'm reporting in Rockville. I'm Cheyenne Corin for DC News Now.
Alexandria is now the first Virginia city to recognize a union of firefighters and EMTs in more than 4 decades.
And with that milestone comes better pay and more first responders on the way. Our Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcillo joins us live outside the Alexandria City Hall. And Max, it's been a long process, but just within the last hour, the council voted unanimously to support the union.
They did, and before they actually took that vote and then had the ceremonial signing, they kind of said that they have sacrificed, the firefighters that is, they've sacrificed a lot over the last few years because of some shortcomings on the city's behalf, but they hope that this agreement is at least the first step in undoing some of those sacrifices. Again, it's not just a symbolic gesture. This is actually has the potential to kind of shift the department, they hope, in a positive direction. The ceremonial signing at tonight's public hearing was all smiles, but it's been months of all business. The agreement would include salary bumps, including an annual 2% raise, and cap the hours firefighters work at 50 hours a week. That's down from the 56 right now. They're able to adjust those hours because of the agreement. It's a 3-year, roughly $27 million agreement, the city says, shows that it is committed to these workers and committed to being progressive on these worker issues.
We know we've had problems with pay, we've had problems with overtime, and this represents a major effort by the city to correct that. You're here tonight and you are firefighters in Alexandria because you're committed to our city, and I hope that this collective bargaining shows, this agreement shows that we are just as committed to you.
Now again, that just happening less than an hour ago, really about a half hour ago. After the vote, we got a chance in a one-on-one interview to talk with Fire Chief Corey Smedley about what this means to him and why he thinks that this action tonight can actually lead to better service for you and everyone else in the community. We'll have more from our interview with him coming up at 10. Reporting live in Alexandria, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
And developing tonight in the district, a new push for D.C. statehood. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill roll out a new path for Washington, D.C. to become the nation's 51st state. Told you about the new push last night. Delaware Senator Tom Carper introduced that bill this morning. Similar bills have passed in the House twice before. This is the first time the bill has reached the Senate floor. So if it passes, D.C. would have more control over how the tax dollars are spent, as well as what laws are enforced. Now the bill must pass through the House, meaning Democrats would need at least 9 Republican votes to break a filibuster.
And Metro is back on track to have more service and 7,000 series cars into the mix. Today, the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commissioners, they met for the first time since last week's finger pointing over train operators who didn't have enough training. Our Daniel Hamburg was there and shares the details.
After many audits, Metro currently has 127 corrective action plans it is in the process of implementing. The WMSC says it is working to make sure those plans are being followed. Commissioners with the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission have questions. Did Metro let operators without enough training get behind the wheel?
We think that, in their zeal to expedite getting more operators, that they're cutting a few corners. Is that a possibility?
I think that's a possibility.
Last week, it was revealed that more than 50 operators didn't meet training requirements.
Metro Rail confirmed last week that it had been bypassing its safety training processes and assigning train operators directly to operate trains and passenger service with another train operator as a mentor.
As of Tuesday morning, the WMSC says 51 of the 54 operators mentioned have completed the proper instruction. WMATA General Manager Randy Clark said this last Monday.
While Metro could have done a better job in documenting that adjustment, it was not done in a vacuum. It was done by seasoned professionals with lots of experience and did not compromise safety.
The other big issue revealed was miscommunication. There was a case in late December where Metro engineers determined cars with certain measurements should not be in service.
However, they had not informed frontline maintenance personnel not to put such cars into service.
After more data was submitted last Friday, the WMSC is allowing Metro to continue with the 7000 series return to service plan.
The information and WMSC's continuing review of other Metro Rail data provided the necessary safety assurances for a progression from a 4-day to a 7-day inspection cycle.
Fewer inspections, allowing more cars to be on the tracks. The next big step for Metro is going back to automatic train operation. That will require different training for a system that hasn't been used in more than 13 years. The WMSC says it's working with Metro to make sure they are prepared and the proper safety precautions are in place. In Northwest, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Growing class size is a serious concern in one of Maryland's fastest growing school districts. Coming up, show why a proposed solution to reducing the average number of students in classrooms is providing even more challenges.
Plus, liftoff in Virginia, a successful launch for a new NASA rocket now in orbit. We'll take you out to the launch pad right after the break.
And we're seeing a very quiet evening. There is kind of a chill in the air, but tracking our next large storm system about to impact a good chunk of the East Coast. We'll look at that coming up.